Does it see it?
Yep.
Sweet. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Scout Tactical channel. It's a rainy night in Texas, which is not common, and I got a great review for you tonight. I took this rifle out to the range today, and it shot so good that this rifle got a name, and its name will be Sweetness, because that's how it shoots. This thing is awesome, and I want to tell you, this is a budget build Designated Marksman Rifle, Special Purpose Rifle, SPR, or Sniper Rifle, Tactical Rifle, if that's what you want to call it. This whole gun is a budget rifle, and man, does it shoot great. It's not super cheap, so don't get me wrong. All you guys thinking, alright, he built one for $500, don't be ridiculous. Okay, it's a little more than that, and I'll go through the cost and everything, but this started life as a regular rifle. I put some regular snap-on parts on it, other than a trigger, which was also a good drop-in, and it came out just great. So I'm real happy with it. Alright, the purpose of this rifle, before I get into telling you the bits and pieces on the rifle, the purpose of this rifle is it is a Designated Marksman Rifle, a DMR, and I'm sure you've seen those terms. Stag Arms now builds a DMR 308, I believe, based, and a 223 based, if I'm right, maybe not 308. Rifle. They have a DMR. Several of the companies have DMRs. Some of the companies have SPRs. And so you guys are going, what's the difference? In most cases, the SPR is an 18-inch barreled rifle. The DMR is a 20-inch barreled rifle. And that's not any steadfast rule. I'm just telling you how guys are kind of building them today, how most companies are doing them. Most of the time, the SPRs are 18s. DMRs are going to be 20. Some examples of your SPR stuff, which is also a mid-length gas system, which also softens the recoil, which I talked about in the Daniel Defense review. The SPRs would be like DPMS has the Mark 12, Stag has the 3G, the Model 3G, which is also a 3-gun competition rifle. Stuff like that. 18-inch is super popular with the 3-gunners right now, with the competition guys, because you get a little more velocity and accuracy. It swings really well, and it's a little more compact with the mid-length system. Seems to be a good balance. Okay, one step up from that is the DMR. Okay, Designated Marksman Rifle. What are we doing here? This is a rifle that's supposed to be given to the infantry people, okay, given to your normal soldiers, or one in a group that's maybe a better marksman. Now this is the initial theory. Of course, I'm a police officer, not a troop in the military. But the deal is this is a little more accurate than your standard infantry 20-inch rifle, say in the Marine Corps, because it does have what's known as an H-bar barrel, okay, a heavy barrel. Not a bull barrel, don't get that confused. It's a heavy barrel. It doesn't have the M204 cutout for the grenade launcher or anything like that. It's a normal profile, but a little heavy barrel. Colt started this back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. They came out with that H-bar, and that's what that is. Heavy barrel is all that stands for, okay? So that's what this gun is. It's a regular AR-15 in 223 caliber, or 5.56, but it's going to be more accurate than your standard rifle because of generally a full-length rifle system on the gas and also the H-bar barrel. Yeah, so we were talking about the Designated Marksman Rifle, right? Normally a 20-inch heavy barreled of some sort rifle. Still in the same caliber that everybody else is carrying in most groups, 223, right? Not that anything's wrong with 308. Alright, so let's go through this rifle and tell you exactly what I put on it so that you'll know kind of what to expect if you're going to do something like this. So, starting from this end, right, we have the Magpul Ubr Stock, which is Universal Battle Rifle. Oddly, I'm wondering if they're going to discontinue this or hopefully just change it up, because it disappeared from the catalog for the last month or so. Hopefully it comes back. One of my wholesalers also doesn't list it anymore, but it's their most expensive stock for whatever reason at the time of this filming. These things are running about $2.25, so really expensive, even more than their PRS, Precision Rifle Stock. It's a good stock. Comes with its own tube, so you don't have to worry, just so you know. I was always asking my dealers, my wholesalers, does it take a rifle tube or a carbine tube? No, it takes a tube that it comes with. So the buffer tube it comes with, you will need a carbine spring and a carbine buffer. It's adjustable here. You pull the lever back and you see that the bottom moves in multiple positions, okay? This is cool because the top cheek rest is always the same, even if you adjust the length of pull. This means you get the same sight picture with your scope no matter where the stock is. This is precisely why it shows the stock. It's also super slim, streamlined, so that it's not real big and bulky. Okay, it has, I added this, I think it's a $15 or $20 option, and this is a metal strike plate, okay, that I added down here. It also gives you another sling swivel. This was already here, the sling loop, but it was polymer. Not that there's anything wrong with that. When you do the strike plate, it becomes a metal insert. Pretty good. I forgot to back it up even more. The rifle itself. Okay, this is a Stag Arms Model 4. If you're not familiar with Stag Arms, they make really, really good stuff, and the price is right. This rifle from Stag is mil-spec. I talked about that on the Daniel Defense DDM4 version 7 rifle, the second video that I ever put out. That mil-spec standard is important to you. Is it everything? Are only mil-spec guns good? Of course not. Don't be silly. But it does show you that there are a lot more tests done, or a lot more strictness on the parts to give you a really good gun. Of course, Colt is mil-spec. They provide the current military gun for the most part in the M4 and the M16 A2, or A3, but mil-spec guns are good. Daniel Defense is mil-spec. Stag is making this model in mil-spec and several of theirs in mil-spec, maybe all, but I know definitely this one. It's all over this one's advertisement page, mil-spec. And several other companies make some good mil-spec stuff. Of course, Knight's Armament, because they provide the SR-25, things like that, and SR-15. But anyway, you want, if it's possible, get a mil-spec gun. They usually cost a little bit more. Guess what? This rifle doesn't. Price on this rifle is normally about $900 at most dealers, and it's going to come with a fixed, right, AR stock, not this Magpul Ubr, a fixed stock, and a regular rifle length tubular handguard, you know, two-piece glacier guard handguard, A2 bird case flash hider, normal A2 side post, and a removable carry handle. Okay. Stag also makes this gun left-handed if you're a lefty. My little brother is a lefty, so that's really cool for him. The whole gun's reversed on the left if you haven't seen that yet. And they're one of the only companies, if not still the only company, doing all their stuff in left-handed. Anyway, it's about a $900 rifle out of the box. It's a 20-inch full rifle-length gas system, H-barred heavy-barreled rifle. Okay. From there, moving on up. Okay. I've got, oh, the stock also has, I was going to show you, it has these little storage compartments. These are cool. You can put a little cleaning kit in them. See this right here? You can put a little cleaning kit in them. You can put a little, some batteries in them, stuff like that. Alright, Magpul Mo E Plus grip with the removable floor plate in the bottom of it, and that lets you also hold batteries and what have you. I have the insert in here for CR123s because this light, if I put the flashlight on it, then it runs on CR123. So I have spare batteries on my rifle, which is a pretty cool option. Pretty simplistic, okay? Also on the rifle, I've added this, which you can see right here, is the Magpul bad lever. You attach it to your bolt release on the left-hand side, which you would normally slap, which you can still do with this part on there. It's about $25 to $29 at most dealers, and what it does is it brings a lever around right here, if you can see that. So if your magazine is back, okay, you can do two things. You saw with my trigger finger, I just locked the bolt to the rear. See, the bolt's to the rear, okay? Also with my trigger finger, if I need to let the bolt ride home, I can, of course, slap it on the side like you're used to doing on all your AR training, or I can just touch it, which is inside the trigger guard. That's cool. Now, with my weapon hand, my fire control hand, I can both lock the bolt by pushing it up and drop the bolt by pushing it down. Pretty cool, because now you can lock the bolt like this. Okay? Whereas normally you'd have to do something between your legs and hold this back and then pull that out and whatever. So locking the bolt back and releasing it has really never been faster. The Magpul Bad Lever BAD, which is Battery Assist Device, never been a cooler invention for an AR. I've loved them for several years, and I have one on every single AR that I have because it's just how I know how to run the rifle at this point. Also on this rifle and on most of my rifles, I have the BCM charging handle. This is the large latch. This is the medium latch, I'm sorry. Medium latch version. I have some larges as well. I like it because if you're holding the rifle, okay, you can charge it with an easier grip, especially if you have gloves. You have to remember that if you're in full gear, winter hunting gear with gloves, tactical gloves with hard knuckles or something for your entry teams or your police officer, your military guy with your maybe your gloves with Kevlar in them, or your gloves for heat and fire, you don't have as much dexterity, so it's awesome to have a charging handle that you can grab easily. Same thing with the bad lever. Now I can do it with a gloved finger. It's good to go. Okay. Also on the rifle, something I forgot to tell you, it has a standard ejection port there. Of course, there's your mag release. If I'm telling you this stuff and it's new to you, you're pretty new to AR. So this is standard control stuff right here. On the gun, I showed you right here. Go to the optic. This is a special mount, okay, made by Burris, B-U-R-R-I-S, which I'm sure you've all heard of. This is their pepper mount, P-E-P-R. It's abbreviated, P-E-P-R. And it's a proper eye placement relief or something like that. Anyway, it's an awesome mount. As you see, it's super beefy, right? 3 Allen screws per ring. The rings are, you know, huge and very beefy. It's never come loose. As you see, it's swept so that you can position this to get the correct eye relief on your AR-15. That's what it's designed for, is a mount for an AR. It's got a Picatinny base, fits anything, and this is their QR. You push this forward and the latches fly up. I'm not going to take it off because it's sighted in. It does maintain zero, kind of. It's normally about $99 for this mount at most stores. It's a little heavy. At I think it's 8.5 ounces, maybe 9. But it's a little heavy. It does maintain zero, but it's close. Every time I take it off and put it back on, I'm within about 1 inch of where I used to be. So not the end of the world, because this is not a 1,000-yard sniper rifle, obviously, right? It's not a sniper rifle because 223 is not going to go 1,000 yards. I guess it could travel that far. That's not effective at that. What are we shooting this gun to? Realistically, we're shooting this to 300 to 400 yards, okay? That's going to be what it's for. If you're going farther, maybe you're carrying 308, okay? If you're going farther, maybe 300. If you're going farther, maybe 338 Leupold. If you're going farther, maybe 50 BMG. There are tools for every job. This is a good one for most of your defensive work, hunting work, varmint, or big game. This is awesome for deer and awesome for coyotes and pigs because it's lightweight, it's man portable, it's shooting 223. Okay, the scope. You see the big L. This is a Leupold scope. That's how we say it in Texas. If you're a Leupold guy, then it's a Leupold scope. But I'm a Leupold. So it's a Leupold scope. This is their new Mark-AR series, standing for AR rifles. It is a 3 to 9 power magnification by 40 millimeter objective with the mil dot reticle. That's a cross with all your little mil dots. You guys know what this stuff is. I'm just throwing it out there. It has, if you can see, target adjustable turrets that are numbered, okay? I like these bad boys. You can see the numbers, right? When you want to turn something, it's also got a BDC turret on there that does compensation for your 223 caliber bullets. And this one that's on there, they have different ones. Let's see. This one that's on there is for the 55 grain, yes, at 3,100 feet per second. They do 62, 64s, your custom shop from Leupold to do all the stuff you want. But I like it because it's clearly marked. You're on 0, and on this rifle, I've got that at 100 yards. If I want to go 200, I just turn it, 300, 400, whatever. Now, of course, it'll go to 600. I'm kind of out of it on 223 by 300 or 400. You know, I'm not really thinking in any hunting situation or self-defense situation, this isn't my gun of choice for 600. You know, it's kind of far. If I'm going to go long-range hunting or some strange self-defense situation that requires a long engagement, I would have other tools. Maybe a bolt gun, but definitely a bigger caliber. Alright, 3 to 9 by 40, it's super clear. The first thing you notice in this Mark-AR scope is that it's awesome when you put it to your eye. It's super clear. This is how you adjust the power back here. It's got a bigger knob than normal, so you can do it with gloves. As I said, you see these, it takes nothing to turn these, and they're clearly marked for your 0. So, good to go. You can do your windage over here, and you can do your elevation here. The scope is clear. It's also small, and it's fairly lightweight. I think it's 13 ounces. And this scope should be, and the prices are changing because it's the first year or so for these, but this scope should be $289 to $299 in most markets right now. So you got a $300 optic with small, low profile, clearly marked target turns, a mil-dot reticle, 3 to 9 by 40. Hey, it's awesome. Perfect for this rifle. Do I want 3 to 9 on a long range rifle? No. Give me 4 to 16, 3 to 12, even 6 to 18, stuff like that. You know, the more magnification, you can only hit it if you can see it, kind of thing. But I cannot say enough about this scope on the rifle. I am thrilled with Leupold Mark-AR optics. I've shot 2 or 3 of them now, and this one is just awesome. With the pepper mount, it's rock solid. It doesn't move an inch or a centimeter. Okay, Magpul Mo E rifle length 4-in. About $39, $35 from most stores, so very inexpensive. It's 2-piece, so that you pull off with the delta ring. You squish this down, pull off your 2-piece glacier guard, standard hand guard. You slap on the Magpul Mo E. Nothing special needed. It's a quick install. Okay, simple to do. Anybody can do this stuff. I'm not a certified gunsmith by any means, and I put everything on this rifle. Okay, it comes with, from the factory, your standard A2 sight, bayonet lug, and sling up here, sling swivel, pardon me, sling ring. Standard A2 birdcage suppressor. It's a 1-9 H-bar barrel. I wish it was a 1-7 so it'd shoot some of the heavier loads. This thing is pretty good, and already in my testing it's pretty good up to the 62, 64 grain stuff. It doesn't really like the 69s or 77s. But 50s, 52s, 55s, 62s, 64s, it's good to go. And that's most of your 223 ammo. I know a lot of guys are 77 grain is the little darling of today, but anyway. Okay, what did I not show you on this rifle? I did not show you this. See the flat blade? Did anybody pick up that that's an aftermarket trigger? I told you it's a Geissle, Super 3G Geissle trigger. It's about $200. That's an expensive trigger. I like the JPs. I like the Chip McCormick's. Let me rephrase, I love the Chip McCormick's. CMC triggers are awesome, made here in Texas. And a little cheaper, about 150 bucks. This Geissle though, ridiculous, man. You'll see when I shot this thing on the video, I'll edit those in. Man, it has a little bit of take up. Let me see if I can charge this bad boy. Let it rip for you. So, a little bit of take up. Right, I'll show you from the bottom. And then it's gone, man. It's that simple. And it's lightweight. But it's not something you're going to slam down on the ground and knock it in either. It's not going to misfire, in my opinion, on you. Any trigger that's cocked and locked and ready to go on a handgun or rifle or shotgun, that you throw that weapon on the ground, could go off. Please understand that. I'm not advocating, hey, this is such a safe trigger, it'll never go off accidentally. No. I'm saying that for a shooting trigger, this thing rocks. This weapon is coming in at about 8 3/4 pounds, which is a little heavy. What that gives you though, it has no recoil. Even on the 223, it barely moves. Doesn't kick at all, so anybody can shoot it. Your wife, your kids, whatever. Great learning rifle. It doesn't kick. It's 8 3/4 pounds and the thing just sits down on the target. And I mean sits down. It is so steady, it's like you're on a bench nearly. I shot this today at 100 yards, you'll see on the video. Free-handed, free-standing, just standing there, nothing special. No shooting shirt, nothing like that. You know, I don't even use that crap. But I'm telling you, and don't get me wrong, if you do, that's great. I don't. I'm just saying I'm not a serious enough shooter to get into that. But I'm shooting this thing free-handed is my point, and it is just rock solid. I can't even detect movement like you normally can. I'm shooting it on 5 out of 9. Kicked it up a little bit. The mil dots are easy to read. The thing's sitting straight. You barely touch it off. When you pull it on this little Super 3G trigger, it doesn't move. It doesn't pull it because it's not too much weight, and then boom, it goes off. The thing is so soft shooting that you can see your hits through the scope at 100. Awesome, man. I love this rifle. So I'm telling you, today's rifles are getting crazy, man. You've got the LWRC Reaper at $3 grand, $4 grand. You've got the FNs, which I really want a SCAR, you know, SCAR Light at $2,500, SCAR Heavy at $3,200 and all that stuff. That's no optics. But I'm telling you, if you want a cool AR, they're modular. Okay, they're like 1911s, they're like hot rod cars. You build them how you want them. This is a $900 rifle with some parts on there, $200 or $300 this and that, $50 this and that, and it got it up to a great rifle. I didn't add it up yet, but you guys can go through it. About $225, $20 200, 25, 90, 300, 40, and we're home free. So that's a hell of a build on a rifle that shoots lights out all day. Guys, as always, I really appreciate you watching. We're in the first month. We're closing out the first month of the project. 2,000 or so views, and I love that. I appreciate all the good personal messages and all the subscribers and stuff, but keep going. If you'll remember, if you watched the last few videos, our goal in month 1 is to get 100 subscribers. We're getting there. Please, if you like the videos, subscribe, comment, tell me what you'd like to see next, because I review what y'all ask for. Okay? Any gear, survival stuff, preparedness stuff, guns, knives, lights, bags, you want it? If I can review it, I will if I know about it, okay? So, as always, thanks for watching the Scout Tactical channel. Check us out, scouttactical.com, and on Facebook. Thanks for watching.